Today, I'm ranking all 14 free-to-play heroes in Heroes vs. Hordes, from absolute dead weight to some of the MVPs of your roster. You'll find these free-to-play heroes scattered across Hero Clash, buried in Boss Brawl, and waiting patiently in the guild shop. But here's the twist. These free-to-play heroes aren't actually free. They take either months of grinding or thousands of gems in order to unlock. So I'm here to help you optimally choose which free-to-play heroes are worth unlocking first in order to save both time and gems, and hopefully make Heroes vs. Hordes more fun to play. But before I jump directly into the ranking, it's good to understand why I'm ranking these heroes the way I am. I'm going to consider 3 factors: the early game, access to the arena, and globals. By the way, I'm Coles, a high-level HvH player and on the grind for 1,000 subscribers. If this video helps you progress without spending money, please consider subscribing. So let's start out by looking at the early game. The best free-to-play heroes excel in the early game, so it's good to know which of them will help you progress through the first 100 chapters of the game. Good early game heroes will have kits and skills that allow them to clear a ton of Horde without relying on the rest of your roster. Because you're only going to have access to these free-to-play heroes, I'm putting the biggest weight on their ability to clear the early game. I follow that up by their ability to progress through the arena. The arena unlocks after you defeat Chapter 31 in normal mode. The weekly event allows you to win Forge tokens to power up your weapons. Early access to higher stages in the arena are worth more early in the game. Having a hero that can get you through the arena faster than other heroes is worth more, as it will allow you to get stronger faster. Therefore, free-to-play heroes that can clear the arena are better than others. But all heroes have value in their globals. Every hero has 5 global abilities that make other heroes stronger. Each one is relatively small, but they add up as you increase the size of your roster. They mostly come directly from leveling up your hero with hero orbs. Take note that hero levels 50, 70, and 120 add globals that impact every hero on your roster, while hero level 90 unlocks a bonus that's specific to your faction. A faction is a group of heroes that all share similar traits and that buff each other up. They benefit from a faction bonus. Particularly early, getting several heroes in the same faction together make each one of them stronger. Therefore, I gave a little bit more weight to those heroes that can buff each other up early in the game. The 5th and final global comes from your Weapon Forge, a level 3 that offers one last global to all heroes. However, the really important thing to understand about globals is that just because you unlock the hero does not mean you get access to the global. You're going to need to collect hero orbs, coins, hero shards, and forge tokens in order to unlock all of these globals, which is going to take time. So if a hero is only good for their globals, there's no rush to unlock them, as it won't help you in the early game, which we already said is the most important part of a free-to-play hero. The heroes with good globals, but that you don't actively use to progress in the game, are called shelf heroes, like that guy. And that's where you're going to keep these first set of free-to-play heroes, firmly on the shelf. This first set of 7 free-to-play heroes spends the majority of their time on the shelf. Luckily for you, they do have some of the best globals in the game. They're just going to take a long time to unlock, so only grab them later once you have the resources to unlock them. That's important and why I keep repeating it. That is, unless of course you want to unlock them. In that case, go ahead. If a hero looks like it's fun to play, go for it. But you can at least use this list to understand the worst from the best, starting with number 14 in Spirit Shaman, followed by number 13 in the Dark Ranger, number 12 the Arcane Mage, number 11 the Fire Wizard, number 10 the Frost Wizard, number 9 Lionheart, number 8 Crazy Tinkerer, number 7 Circuit Breaker, and number 6 the Big Game Hunter. I'll quickly take a look at the important ones on this list. The first is the Arcane Mage, who is your tutorial hero. Since she's unlocked, once you've leveled up the other hero on this list that's considerably better, you can come back to her and start unlocking her globals first. She has some of the best globals in the game, and it's worth investing in those once you have the resources available. Next up is Lionheart, Circuit Breaker, and the Big Game Hunter. These are 3 heroes that are unlocked via tokens in different events, from Boss Brawl and Hero Clash. I think it's worth saving up the tokens for the Big Game Hunter and Boss Brawl, even if it takes you 5 or 6 months. He's one of the better later game heroes, so there is no rush to get him, but it's the kind of hero you want to unlock eventually. Lionheart and Circuit Breaker, on the other hand, cost a lot of Hero Clash exchange tokens, and I think there are better ways to spend those early in the game. The Hero Clash exchange has access to Forge tokens, which is where I think you should be spending on them until you're strong enough later in the game. The last interesting one here is Crazy Tinkerer, because he gets unlocked via coins. He costs 1,000,000 coins, which is a lot early in the game, and is probably better spent on talents. However, once a talent level starts costing about the same as the Crazy Tinkerer, then it's probably worth it to unlock him. He has some pretty solid globals, and I find him a lot of fun to play, even if he's very different from most other heroes in the game. And because he only costs coins, that becomes a relatively easy to acquire resource as you start playing and progressing. However, the rest of the heroes on this list require gems to unlock, and while you don't want to spend any gems on these heroes early in the game, you definitely want to spend gems on this next hero. The 5th best free-to-play hero is any future adventure hero. Each month, you can spend 1,300 gems to unlock the hero. That's the single best deal in the game for turning gems into a hero. Future adventure heroes are a little bit of a crapshoot. They might be strong standalone heroes, they might be great for their globals, or they could be completely worthless. Historically, some of the strongest heroes in the game have come from adventure mode. That said, most recent adventure heroes are some combination of shelf heroes or fun free-to-play, interesting options. So remember, always do your adventures! Because you'll never know exactly what you're going to get, but it's better than not getting it, as I can tell you from my own personal experience. They will help you in the long run, but this next guy will help you in the short run. At number 4, I have the Paladin. The Paladin is unlocked via the guild event system. You can unlock him after several months of being in an active guild via guild tokens. He synergizes well with Blademaster and Knight, two other free-to-play heroes, because as I described earlier, they're all in the same faction, buffing each other up. His main advantages come in his periodic knockbacks and his invulnerability. This makes Paladin particularly useful for clearing stages in the arena, which as we talked about is one of the important early game considerations. Paladin's utility and faction synergies make him a strong early game hero, and while he can clear parts of the arena, this other hero can clear even more parts of it. The 3rd best freely available hero in my opinion is the Pirate Queen. She's very strong in the early game, but she falls off tremendously in the mid to late game. Her kit revolves around instant kill. She's the only hero that has instant kill built into her abilities. That one ability allows her to clear many stages of the arena much earlier than other heroes can. And as I keep saying, early access to arena tokens will speed up your progression through the game. But her problem is that her projectiles only hit one horde at a time, and it makes her completely binary. Either she can easily clear a piece of content, or she can't. That being said, she's a lot of fun to play, and it's fun to watch her projectiles bounce around the battlefield. She just doesn't spin to win as good as this next guy. At number 2, I have Blademaster, the 2nd best free-to-play hero in the game. He's a bit out of character compared to the rest of the heroes I've been talking about because he's not good in the early game. But he's absolutely the best at arena in my opinion. So let me explain. At level 100, his ultimate comes online, and so does his potential. He's invincible during the duration of his ultimate, and it charges off a critical strike. That mechanic makes him the first hero to be able to reliably clear the arena in my experience. It will also allow him to push to the end of hard mode without requiring any forge tokens, which is incredibly valuable over the long run. Most heroes require getting to their 4-star level forge in order to clear most of hard mode, which can take you months of grinding super tokens in the arena. The Blademaster can do it for free. However, unless he has his ultimate, he's completely worthless. And in certain modes, invulnerability is disabled, making him basically disabled. So that prevents him from being the top tier free-to-play hero in my book. That award goes to the next guy. I have the Knight as the overall best free-to-play hero. As you grind and progress through the depths of Heroes vs. Hordes, you can make him strong enough to clear every single game mode. He's strongest in the early game because of the way his kit allows him to creatively beat chapters using both offense and defense. On the offensive side, his big advantage comes from his weapon. The sword can hit any number of horde that are within its area of effect. That makes it way more efficient than Pirate Queen or Arcane Mage, who have to hit one horde at a time with each of their projectiles. And then on the defensive side, he gets armor through his progression and from his faction bonus. This allows him to mix and match some builds that other heroes have no access to this early in the game. But after the early game, that versatility still makes him viable. You will need his 4-star Forge in order to unlock enough damage and disruption, but once you do, you can clear all of hard mode, all of arena, and all of the endgame content available in Heroes vs. Hordes. His weakest time comes in the mid-game, before he has access to that Forge. During that time, you can switch over to Blademaster to clear the arena and push through hard mode stages. However, once you get him up to his 4-star Forge, the Knight turns into the Lawnmower Man, powerful enough to cut down any horde that come into his path. And that's my set of the best free-to-play heroes in the game. Lucky for you, Knight is immediately available and worth powering up as soon as you can. Over time, you'll accumulate enough gems, resources, and coins to unlock your whole roster of shelf heroes, but don't feel rushed into doing that. So stick with Knight until you understand the true value of gems and what each resource is worth in the game. And I'm Coles, I'm a high-level HvH player and part of a top 10 guild. If you want priority answers to your questions, you can sign up for my Patreon, where you can also become an executive producer. The executive producers of this video are Cake Invictus, Riverwind, and the Wubba. Please subscribe if you like the video, and remember, always do your adventures!